All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the 2014 U.S. Bar Table Championships presented to you by CueSports International and by Bad Boys Billiard Productions. You are about to see the 10-ball hot seat match between SVB and Warren Kiamco. These are the only two players that have yet to lose. And the winner of this match will proceed directly to the finals tomorrow. Time is still to be determined on that, but it will be tomorrow, not today. And the loser of this match will proceed to the left side of the bracket and await an opponent, and that likely will also be tomorrow. I think there are still 8 players in on the one-loss side right now. So following this match, we're going to have 2 more 10-ball matches for you on the one-loss side to get us down to either our final 3 or final 4 players. So here we go with SVB to break off in the first rack. This is still races to 7. And this is for the right to go to the finals and be guaranteed no worse than second place. I mentioned earlier that Warren has had a tremendous record here in the U.S. Bar Table Championships over the years. He's got an 8-ball title, 2 9-ball titles, and 2 all-around titles, but he's never won the 10-ball since it began about 6 years ago. So he would certainly like to add that to his already excellent resume here at the U.S. Bar. Shane is seeking his 4th 10-ball title since 2008, when 10-ball was added as a 3rd division. He's actually won it every year in the even-numbered years. He won in 08, in 10, and in 12, and this is 14. So if it goes according to the numbers, he should win this year. He's also got 2 all-around championships in addition to his 3 10-ball titles. But I know Warren would like to kind of complete the triple crown for himself and add a 10-ball title to his 8 and 9-ball titles. Shane won the 9-ball here in 2010. But surprisingly enough, unless my records are wrong, I don't believe Shane has won the 8-ball division here, which you might find surprising because it's arguably his best game on a bar table. But nevertheless, none of that matters right now. What only matters to these guys is winning this match and being able to play for the championship tomorrow. I want to thank all of you, of course, for being with us here, and I hope you'll stay along with us for the rest of the week when we crown our 3 division champions for men and women and our 2 all-around champions, both men and women. 106 players entered the 10-ball men's side. Like I said, I think there's about 10 left. We had 22 women in the 10-ball division. And I'm sorry to say, I don't know just exactly where that stands as far as how many are left. It's not concluded, I know that. But CTS On Demand will enable you to find out just who's in and when they play. Still a little undecided on tomorrow's schedule for 10-ball for the semis and the finals. I talked to Rick and Bonnie, the tournament directors, just before this match, and the reason that they can't really tell us yet is the U.S. Open One Pocket is ongoing, as you know, and they have to juggle around that, and Shane's playing in that, as are maybe a couple of the other guys that are still in 10-ball. Now, the 9-ball division does start tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific. That's the first round of men's 9-ball. Not sure exactly what we'll be bringing you for streaming, but as soon as we know, we'll pass that along to you. In the meantime, Shane with a 1-0 lead here, and Warren off and running here in rack number 2 with a ball down, but no pocket for the 1-ball. Very nice save there by Warren. This is not going to be an easy ball to hit. He's got to come. No, he just decided to take a foul and hand it right back to Warren. Didn't even want to attempt to try to open him up. He's going to be on 2 here in a moment. Well, I mean, he's on 1. Warren's going to try to put him right back there where he was behind that 7 ball. If the guy didn't like it once, you might as well put him back there. He ain't going to like it again. Well, now it's a much easier ball to hit. It's going to be tough to come safe out of this, I think. But he's looking at 2 rails. He might even go 1 rail. He's called the 1 up in the upper right corner. I think he's maybe thinking it'll kiss off the 2 and head in that direction. And that's exactly what it did. And how well thought out was that? He knew he had a good chance to get the cue ball safe behind these colors if he caught it right, and he did. And now Warren's got a tough ball to hit. He can come 2 rails, hitting the short rail where his left hand is first. And that's about the only path I see to the 1 ball, and he has called it in the corner. He can make it hitting the short rail up there or full on, but he got to watch the scratch. Shane kind of had a smirk when he looked at that. I think it's probably straight in. I don't think there's any problem making the ball. I just don't think he can do anything but maybe draw the cue ball a little bit. And right about there, that's about his best place to get. Maybe about 6-8 inch draw here. This actually sets up pretty well. I mean, 2 rails out to the center for the 3. Get that other camera angle in a bit. We can see if the 4 passes the 10. But even if it does, the 7 still will present a little bit of a problem. Although with the 8 gone, he could play the 6 and come around and get behind the 7, or he could play the 7-10. No, I guess now he's going to play the 4-10 if the 4 doesn't go. I think the 4 goes. Yeah. Wrong again, Kenny. Good call. I mean, who's going to beat this guy? He just seems to take advantage of everything that is given to him by his opponent. He got 2 or 3 pretty fortunate rolls today in a couple of the matches that, you know, if they went the other way, the results might have been different. I mean, his match with Scott Frost earlier, the opening match today, he did get several favorable rolls. And then yesterday, he just tore right through Jesse Engel here, and he destroyed Darren Appleton earlier today, but Darren gave him a lot of help. But Shane played pretty much perfect that set. But he's definitely the man to beat. He's the man to beat in all 3 divisions, and it wouldn't be out of line to say he would be the favorite for the U.S. Open 1 pocket as well. I mean, the guy could walk out of here with 5 titles. 8, 9, 10, 1, and an all-around. Now, obviously, that's probably against the percentages, but if there's anybody in the building that's capable of doing that, I don't think there's anybody, maybe the exception of Dennis, who could do that, and Dennis is not known for his one-pocket prowess. Of course, he wasn't known for his straight pool ability either, and he knocked off the straight pool, the George Fell straight pool challenge at Derby City. When you shoot as good as those guys do, if it's just a question of making balls, they're going to be a threat. I mean, you know, you're full on in gear when you're just bumping balls and bumping them into the position that you want to bump them into. Well, that's 3, and we've only been playing about 11 minutes. And all these players realize that in this alternate break format, you fall 2-3 racks behind. I mean, you've got to get some real help from your opponent because you can't string racks. You can't break and run the set. Well, that's exactly what the doctor ordered here for Mr. K. A nice open shot on the 1 and a fairly routine layout. Going to have to play the Z stroke here. Low right, come back about where he's standing and then bounce back off. As long as he misses the 7 ball, he'll be fine. He didn't miss the 7, but he should be okay. It might be a little tough to reach. I think he can get it. Back in line. Maybe a hair too far here, but he just soft roll this in and take his cut on the 4 in the corner. 6 is right there by the 4, so he's not going to have to do much with the cue ball. Nice work, Warren. 1 for you, 3 for him. Let's watch the second row again. He's been making them with regularity all day, all week. And I'll put the commentator's curse on him. Got him. It's about the only mistakes this guy makes is not making the ball on the break. It doesn't look like Warren's got enough of the one to make it, at least from where I'm sitting. If he does, it's just a little deceptive. And it's kind of a minefield to try to get back for the 2 if he can make it. Well, maybe he can. Come between the 3 and the 4 maybe and short side the 2 if he can make it. No, safe all the way. Good shot. Shane's jump cue looks like a pencil. How skinny that thing is. Already indicated cross corner here. I don't think he's realistically trying to pocket this, but he certainly wanted to give himself the chance to maintain control of the table if it did go in. There doesn't seem to be any real good safety here for Warren. And if you'll notice how badly the 2 is tied up, unless the 1's in a very good spot, there's maybe not going to be much of an advantage to making the 1 should either player have a shot on it. This will change it a little bit. Made it worse. I want you to notice that Shane just placed a magic rack on the left rail there. You see that? It's hanging over. Now, if a ball runs into that, it's a foul. That would be like leaving a piece of chalk on the table. I'm not sure if they're going to enforce that rule, here. And I should know, but I'm sorry to say that I don't. But that's no different than, it's a piece of equipment. It's not your equipment, but you control it because you're at the table. And it can certainly change the outcome of a shot. And I would certainly suggest Warren move it. And he hasn't. I think if I was Warren, I'd try to find a way to lock Shane up, and he's not the easiest guy in the world to 3 foul, but there's really no advantage here to shooting unless you're just going to try to go into the 2-3 with the cue ball and take your chances. I like putting the cue ball up there near the 2-3, but he's got something else in mind. Well, I think I know what he's got in mind, is playing safe off the 2, sliding the 2 underneath the 7 ball and putting it in a place where it's virtually impossible for Shane to hit it. And he got pretty good to do that, I think. Unless I'm deceived and he's got a combination, but it sure looks to me like safe is the shot. Yep. Ooh, that little tap against the 7 there made this a ball that Shane can hit. If it went further, it would have made it really tough. It looks like he's frozen right up on the 5, though. That might mean He's got to get into the rail by that piece of chalk and lengthen it out a little for the second cushion. Warren's looking carefully, and I don't blame him. Two in the side. No good. Oh, we missed that bad. Well, he didn't get the straight in on the 4 as he wanted to. Right through the gap both ways. I'm not sure he meant to hit the 10, but it's going to work out all right for him. This for 4-1. Shane pulled out the 9 ball thinking it was the cue ball. That's funny. Warren said, Shane, grab the 9. Now, if you want to know what would have happened, let's say Shane just went completely brain dead and thought the 9 was the cue ball and actually shot the 9 into the 1. It's a foul. And the reason it's a foul is 2 object balls removed. But Warren has far too much class to not tell his opponent of that. And I'm sure Shane would have done the same thing too. They're both gentlemen. But I think that's something a lot of us have probably done at least once in our career. And what Shane just did there is something that he probably hasn't done very much in his career, and that's hook himself on an unforced error. He may have been trying to bump the 8. I think he wanted to separate the 8 and the 10, but the first time in a day and a half I've seen him do that, where he's basically shot himself in the foot. Would you like to know what he's thinking? I would. He's going to back kick it across the side. I mean, into the other side pocket, not cross side, but on the long rail where he's standing. Pretty much all or nothing here, because if he doesn't make this kick, it's pretty likely Warren's going to have something to look at on the 4. Did not miss by much. And look where the cue ball is. This is pretty tough for Warren because he's going to probably have to run into the 10. So he's going to need a little bit of speed on the cue ball to get it off the short rail. I'd be surprised if he misses the 10 here. Well, when it's not going your way, it's not going your way. You made a really nice shot there off the cushion from that distance with enough speed to get the 10 out of the way. I think he'd be satisfied with the 5, but the 10 has made the 7 play tougher now. I think the cue ball can get in there between the 7 and the 10, but he's got to come with this now, all the way down the rail with a little bit of right. And he swished it. Now this isn't actually that bad because it looks like he might have a natural 2 rails out of the corner there with a little bit of high right where he'll be able to get a shot at the 7. It's middle of the table, head string side. That's all right. He absolutely has to get out here and make Shane pay for that mistake on the 4. Nice little comeback there by Warren. It was well executed, starting out with that very long shot. But he's still quite the underdog from here, with Shane breaking with a 4-2 lead. This looks pretty appetizing right here. The 7 doesn't present much of a problem given the lay of the 8. And the 6 connects really nicely to the 7. Just the 3 to the 4 here is pretty much all he's got to be concerned with. Just a touch awkward here. Got to play it in the corner. He might even float into the 7. That would have been okay either way if he hit the 7 or he didn't. But now he's got the proper angle to get back for the 4 ball. And that brings our score to 5-2 in favor of the South Dakota kid here in the hot seat match. 10-ball division of the U.S. Bar Table Championships, the 21st edition of the USBTC. Started out very humble beginnings there back in '93. For many years it was at the Sands Regency, and first 10 or 12 years, I think Jay Helfert was in charge and running that for a number of years, and that's how I started with the Bar Table Championship. Started out helping Jay over there, and then when it turned over to CSI here back in it was '07. But as we've said, it's certainly grown and continues to do so. 1 ball. Is he going to get a look at the 2? Nope. 3 balls on the break on a bar table, and you can't get a shot. It's hard not to get discouraged when you're in this position. You're playing arguably the top bar table player in the country, if not the world. And Warren, like I said, I mean, he is no slouch whatsoever. He's capable of winning any bar table event he enters too. But it does discourage you when you're fighting your way back and you have a great break like that, and you just can't get a look at the low ball. And Shane says, "Go right ahead." It's going to hang. It's going to go rail first, come around the 10, over there by near the 7 ball. Well, that's a little short there. It'd be all right, but it's not where he wanted to be. And to the hill goes the king. Well, the 8 was going right in the side and they kicked the cue ball in, so Warren got a temporary pardon from the governor. I'm not sure he's going to be able to commute his sentence here, but at least he's going to get off death row temporarily. Only work here is going to be the 6 to the 7. Again, there's plenty of space between the 7 and the 8 to cut it. But he's got to have a very precise angle on the 6. What happened here? Are you kidding? Shane's picking his spot for the 6 now to get to the 7. I think Warren was as surprised as anybody that that cue ball just kept going and going. He didn't want to come within a foot of that pocket. That's just where he planned to be. Hey, call the newspapers. I got a news flash for you. Shane Van Boning's in the finals. Who would have thunk? Okay, Warren is now going to wait to see who survives the one-loss side to play him tomorrow for the right to go back at Shane. Warren's guaranteed third place minimum. Shane's guaranteed second place minimum. Shane will have to be beaten twice in a race to 7 in order to prevent him from claiming his 4th U.S. bar table 10-ball title in 6 years. And I'm not sure there's many people that are going to bet that someone can come and beat him twice. No one's been able to beat him once. Matter of fact, I think only one person got to 5 games on him. And I think that was this morning with Scott.